Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me the truth. Am I the fairest of them all? Today we will talk about narcissists, people whose endless and boundless desire to be liked makes them constantly seek confirmation of their superiority everywhere. That they are the smartest, the most beautiful. They look for this validation from the outside. And this is exactly what we will discuss today. Let's take a look at what this is, what kind of fruit these people are, and where this kind of behavior comes from. Narcissists are completely incapable of empathy. They do not care what other people feel, they only care about what is happening to them. And if they ever give you attention, it's only so that you tell them how gallant they are or acknowledge some of their good qualities. They are very similar to hysterical personalities, but hysterics are usually emotional and can still empathize, can feel another person. Among actors, for example, there are many hysterical personalities. They can understand the character, feel what another person feels. But a narcissist cannot do that. He is completely fixated on himself. He looks at everyone with disdain, from above, self-important, pompous, emotionally cold. People usually keep their distance from them, because in order to feel superior, they constantly try to belittle you. They devalue everything around them. You're not pretty, you're stupid. Very often this is seen in men. For some reason narcissistic traits tend to appear more frequently in men. Let's take a look at where this behavior comes from. It is very interesting. It grows from two vectors, two directions. The first is disgust. This is when a parent does not accept the child, finds the child unpleasant for some reason. And the child often walks around messy, neglected, and sees in the eyes of adults, other kids, and even parents, a kind of contempt. I once had a patient, actually narcissists almost never come to therapy, because they don't believe they have any problems. They usually face difficulties in their personal lives, and that's when something brings them to therapy. My patient came because she thought her daughter had problems. In reality, the problem was in the mother, but she noticed it in her daughter, as usually happens. She came with her little girl, and I always begin by working with the parent. It's very important. Working with the parent is the key. And what was revealed? The mother was very cold, narcissistic. And in childhood she told my patient, her own daughter, this. If you were a pretty girl, I would live with you. But you are not pretty, so go live with your grandmother. You may not believe it, but this happens. My patient suffered through all her childhood thinking, if only I were beautiful. And now she tries so hard to be beautiful. She carefully watches her appearance. She walks with her head held high, always trying to shine and look perfect. Deep down she still believes, if I become beautiful, my mother will finally take me back. What happens with such a child? At some point, he changes the vector of attention. The disgust that was directed at him from the outside, he flips it around. Because he must adapt socially somehow. He can't live forever in rejection. He turns his perspective around. Now I will look at you with disgust. Now you are unworthy, you are dirty, you are beneath me. This is a protective mechanism. The second vector through which narcissism can form is when a child is given a super mission. A mother expects the child to become a great athlete, a great musician, an artist, a king, a prince, someone exceptional. The child is forced to play this role. He realizes, they love me only when I am the athlete, the prince, the musician. They love only my special role. And so he identifies with this false role, this false self. His real self, his tears, pain, frustration, remains unaccepted by the mother. She accepts only the performance, the social image. And the child starts to live entirely in this role, rejecting his true essence. Why can't a narcissist understand you? Because he turned away from his own feelings first. If he cannot hear himself, how can he hear? So what should you do if your husband is a narcissist, your boss is a narcissist, or a close person is a narcissist? First of all, it's important to see the transparency of the situation, to understand where this behavior comes from. Remember my words, remember this explanation. And how do you avoid raising a narcissist yourself? First and foremost, accept your child. I have a little daughter, and every evening when I go to sleep, I sit next to her, hug her, hold her, give her tenderness. I accept all of her, her whole being. When she is moody, I hear her. Learn to hear your child. Accept all of their feelings.